Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Sony announces the new A7R Mark III, not the A7 III or the A9R. So all that being aside, this is a refresh that I thought needed to happen before really anything else. The A9R wouldn't make sense this early after the A9 came out pretty recently for what everything is. And I think that this just makes sense. I think the A7R Mark II came out in 2015, so this is a well-needed update, and it packs a lot of important things. One thing you're gonna notice is the price point, and it pretty much matches what the A7R II cost when it first came out, and pretty much what it held for a while. It is gonna be $3,200. You actually can order this thing on October 26th, so tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, and it will ship on November 30th. And the cool part is they should hopefully have this at Photo Plus, and I'm going to Photo Plus, so I will do my best to get a hands-on and to really get that out there. So hopefully they let people share that, but $3,200, not too bad. You're getting 42 megapixels, which is pretty much the same sensor currently in the A7R Mark II, but it has a new design and it's gonna allow up to 15 stops of dynamic range. And just like Nikon, Sony does a very, very good job with their dynamic range, and you can get a lot out of these cameras. Once again, 42 pixels is a lot. 42 megapixels is a lot. But it just depends on what you like to shoot, and it's pretty popular for like landscape, studio, etc. So you know why you're buying the camera. The ISO will be a base of 100 to 32,000, and the A7R II line is very, very good in low light. No optical low pass filter, so it's increasing the sharpness that you're getting, the HDR that this camera, that they're saying that it's gonna provide. And you're gonna have the 5-axis in-body stabilization, but the cool part is you're getting up to 5.5 stops. And that is pretty darn good. You're gonna get to a point where you really don't have to worry about anything and you can just shoot whenever. Another thing that they're putting in here is this pixel shifting. And it's kind of like how the Pentax K1 used their version of like shifting, and I don't know the exact name of it, but essentially what you're gonna have is having the sensor move basically one by one in pixel increments, and it's gonna capture 4 different raw photos, and it's essentially gonna be like a 169 megapixel thing. And when you get it into the computer, you can then combine them and everything to get a super high res ultra version, and it will obviously be 42 megapixels, the max what the camera allows, but it's really getting that sharpness. And I know that's popular for a lot of landscape photographers. Don't really know if it'd be good that for the studio, but if you want the extra detail and everything, it can't be like on a moving subject or anything like that. It has to be for something that's like this or a landscape, and you're good to go there. It's gonna have 4D autofocusing, and it's basically all the double the speed of the A7 Mark II, 399 phase attack points, 425 contrast, and it's covering about 68% of the image, whereas the A9 is covering 93% of the image in the area that you're seeing. So you get a lot of coverage, and I think this is up from 45% from the A7 II, so you're getting an improvement. And what's cool is you are getting a lot of things that was in the A9 in this A7R Mark III. Another big thing you're getting is a full use, full capacity touchscreen. No full articulation though, so still people might complain about that, but you can move the autofocusing points around if you want to focus and recompose that way. But the other cool thing is this has a joystick. You are getting 10 frames per second. If you're doing bursts, you can have up to 87 compressed raw photos before the image, before it buffers, and then you can have up to 28 uncompressed, so you're still doing well there. Now, while this doesn't necessarily have no blackout, it's kind of close in a way where it's like going like at 8 frames per second, and it's really trying to clear things out. So you can almost follow things live time. We're getting 4K video. And one thing Sony put in their press release and everything, and what was shown, is that they're concentrating in this like HDR log mode type of thing, and you are getting S-Log3, so no BS that you have to wait for. The A9 didn't have it when it came out, all that type of stuff. You're getting it with this camera. And what's pretty cool is that there's gonna be a full pixel readout, full frame width, so no crop, or you can actually use the super 35mm crop that you're used to. That being said, you're also getting 120 frames per second at 1080p as well. Sony has been pretty good with that. It doesn't look that soft compared to what people think. I mean, even with the, what was it, the A6300, when I had that like 2 years ago, I loved how the 120 frames per second looks, so I'm sure it's gonna look even better with the newer technology here. And just some really other quick things to end it off. It will have 2 SD card slots, so nothing new, no CFS or anything like that. But you are getting a 1 UHS-2, so that's pretty much one of the fastest things out there for SD, and you're getting an older 1 UHS-1 slot. So keep that in mind. The A7R Mark III will also use the same battery as the A9, so it's like 2.2 times better than your normal small batteries that you get in the A6000 line of things. And it will have a USB-C 3.1 connector. So once again, you're getting this bad boy for $3,200. It will ship in November. And I think that this is a pretty cool camera for what it is. It's not necessarily something that I personally enjoy, but I would love to shoot with it. And like I said, hopefully I will get a somewhat of a hands-on or a quick hands-on at the Photo Plus event coming up in the next few days, and I'll do my best to post that as well, just to give my thoughts on it. So Sony better have this out. But that's it right here, the Sony A7R Mark III. They also, I think, are releasing a 24-105 f4 or something, and then a 400mm 2.8. I think that's another thing that they're going to announce as well, because that was missing when the A9 came out, and people were like, yo, WTF. That does it here. Give me your thoughts down below. Is the A7R Mark III attractive to you? Or would you just go for something like an A7R Mark II? But the price and everything like that, if you're looking to get into the game, the A7R Mark III is pretty awesome. And I don't know, the A9, does it look so appealing anymore?